Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. Now, good Monday morning. We're talking about just a year ago, okay? Now, I want to show you a couple things here. And I like to go to the New York Post sometimes. And I showed you this. I want to make, first of all, Andrew Cuomo, he said something I agree with. That's right. Now, there's, is it a half dozen or by the day's end, a half dozen more women? If you watch the show on a daily basis, I told you this last week. There's a phone number, email address, all the ways to follow us in social media. We talked about this last week. I said this, but before I get to what Andrew, the governor of New York, will he resign? Will he leave? Will he be forced out of office? I don't know. Okay. But that being said, I showed you this picture earlier. And what use? And, when we talk about 2022, is the damage done? And when I say that, is the damage done? Okay. Now we have number 5, and I'm not going to go into this article. You can look it up later. Okay. Can we reverse the damage? I guess that's what I'll say. What is the American dream? Can we reverse the damage? Now, number 5, 2021 sees a record number of bills targeting trans youth. Okay, targeting trans youth. Now, watch what happens this year. Okay, you are tired of, we talk about a man that thinks he's a woman. Okay. I showed you earlier. It's actually number, and why can I not find it as we're talking here? Give me number 31. Okay. So number 31. This is a throuple, 3 men, made history in 2017, okay, when they became the first family in the state to list 3 parents on a birth certificate. 3 isn't a crowd for these dads, okay? Now, they made history in 2017 with this right here, 3 dads. Now, the reason I say this, and I go in the Wayback Machine, okay? This is March 1st, 2021. They made history when they became the first family in the state to list 3 parents on a birth certificate. 3 isn't a crowd for these dads. California throuple made history in 2017 when they became the first family in the state for 3 dads on the birth certificate. Their reproductive journey and legal battle to become fathers of Piper, now 3. Okay, this child's 3. In 3 dads and a baby. Let's see, Jenkins. Okay. Dr. Andrew don't see their family. Now that includes Parker. The fact that Piper has 3 parents is just not a big deal. I have 3 parents myself. Let's see, it's getting down here to where I was wanting to, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but the legal fees, okay, that they spent this article goes. I'm sorry, folks. It goes into areas I don't want to take off into because, as you well know, your host here will get sidetracked. Okay, all too easy. The point I want to make here, without going too deep into this article, the birth certificate. And the only reason I bring this up, this is very deep about their legal challenge with having three men and a birth certificate and marriage, because the institution of marriage and a birth certificate and gender identity this year will be the biggest changes ever. And Joe Biden, okay, will be leading the way. Can we return to a year ago? Can we reverse the damage that's done? Because your birth certificate right now still continues to have a gender on it. And it lists two parents. Sometimes it doesn't list a second parent, okay? But so much happens with that birth certificate. It's all at birth. The birth certificate identifies male, female, age, weight, color, skin color, right? Now, last night, there was a big moment, all right? And there's a reason I wanted to talk about the birth certificate. And we'll get out from this. Go to number one, all right? First of all, I have three dads. Second, the birth certificate. What's the birth certificate have on it? Caucasian, whatever, right? Does it? I don't know. I know birth certificates back years ago could have different information. Archie's skin color came into question with the Royals. Skin color, the color chart. Sex, male, female. Okay? Yes. Who the parents are, gender, this is all getting ready to change. And are you going to accept it? Now, last week, I brought you, right, a story about Tom Murphy, the governor of New Jersey, right? I brought this last week because what happened, is it Cardona? Just going off memory here, Cardona, right? He was Rhode Island. Is it Rhode Island? He was superintendent of schools of the state of Rhode Island or something. Connecticut. Let's get it straight. So Cardona was the superintendent of schools of the state of Connecticut. Okay. Joe Biden. Okay. He's all okay with transgender athletes. He's okay with all of this. Joe Biden named him to be the Department of Education. Department of Education, all right? Secretary, Department of Education. He's okay, transgender. Now, Joe Biden today is putting together a gender council. Oh, yes, a gender council. He's putting that together today, Joe Biden is, to look at Title IX. Get ready this year, okay? So Cardona is now the Secretary of Education. He's fine with this, all right? Now give me number, putting it all together here because it happens this year. It will all take place this year. Give me number... just had it here a second ago. Give me number 32. So what happened last week? The state of New Jersey is going to start teaching kindergarten children, right? Exactly. Kindergarten children. Gender, not to have gender identity. Pansexual. Get ready, folks. That was Monday last week. Cardona was confirmed Monday last week. New Jersey, Tom Murphy, the governor, they're introducing the new sex education classes for kindergarten children. Start teaching them immediately. Erasing gender. Because why? They have a Department of Education that will support it this year. New York lawmaker wants sex ed for kindergartners. Yes. Yes, that's what the New York lawmaker wants. Sex ed for kindergartners. And the New York Post here, get ready for the latest woke wave in education. Comprehensive sex ed, this is from the New York Post, for kids as young as 5, thanks to a new bill by the Senate, the state Senate. All right. Under the group's current standards, public and charter schools would have to teach 5-year-olds about gender identity and instruct 8-year-olds on hormone blockers to prevent puberty in transgender identified preteens. But then you have Richard/Rachel Levine, a man who thinks he's a woman that could not answer Rand Paul's question that promotes off-label, okay? This would be off-label hormone blockers to prevent puberty, is about to be confirmed, while everybody is wondering what Meghan Markle's, or whatever their names are, the royals, baby Archie's skin color tone is. You're about to have Rachel Levine, okay, former head of pediatrics at Penn State, pediatrics, crazy ass man who thinks he's a woman, as the assistant HHS secretary that will help institute and oversee and support our schools as this crazy legislation continues to pass. Joe Biden supports it. Yes, Joe Biden supports it. And we will be talking to 5-year-olds about gender identity, pansexual. Yeah, okay. 8-year-olds on hormone blockers to prevent puberty in transgender identifying preteens. Okay. And close your ears for this. Kids as young as 11 will get lectures on vaginal, oral, and anal sex. Study queer. What the hell? I'm reading this garbage. Asexual, pansexual, and other gender identities. 3 men, birth certificate. Just, I'm trying. Can we come back from this, folks? Are we going to allow this to happen? Are you going to let this happen in America? Are you? I'm going to take a brief break. We're going to come back, and I want to talk about why Joe Manchin is dangerous and some things going on in Georgia. Before I take the break, let me go to number 26. I said this last week, okay? Andrew Cuomo, okay? This is actually a true statement he made. It is, because he said this: reporters, we call him smooches here, reporters and photographers have covered the governor for 14 years, okay? This is an advisor. This is a statement from an advisor, okay? Reporters and photographers have covered the governor for 14 years, watching him kiss men and women and posing for pictures. Folks, I said this last week. The media, okay, they have watched this guy. The people that have worked with this guy, that have been around this guy, the Clintons, all the above. Everybody knows what a low-life piece of garbage Andrew status Cuomo is. Everybody knows that. They've known this for years. This is not new. These women coming forward, reporters have known this for 14 years. This is an accurate statement. But remember something about this, as we've talked about it last week. What did he do wrong? Kill grandparents in nursing homes with COVID and lock them in? Do you think they took him down because they're afraid that's going to get exposed? What about this? He's up for re-election in 2022. But remember, okay, you do the research on this. I'm going to take a break. You do the research and you see if I'm wrong. Remember this on old smooches here. When the Democrats had their virtual convention, he sent in his 5-minute video or whatever it was, 8-minute video, right? And it was 8 minutes he got. And at this time at the Democrat National Convention on virtual, right? The virtual convention, he is hero. Okay? And he did a Chris Christie moment. Remember when Chris Christie at the convention in 2012, was it 2012, when he spent more time, promoting Chris Christie? Listen to me close here. This is coming from the old memory banks. Remember when Chris Christie was supposed to be up there talking about Mitt Romney at the Republican convention? And Chris Christie gave a speech that was, Chris Christie, look at me. You can't miss me. Look how big I am on the stage, right? But it was all about Chris Christie. And it was only like at the end, he said, oh, by the way, vote for Mitt Romney. And Chris Christie was doing what? Trying to set himself up for what? 2016. He was giving himself, trying to put him into a competitive edge for a presidential run when? 2016, right? We knew that. People were upset over that. Now, fast forward to Andrew Cuomo. Andrew did an 8-minute video, and it really upset the Biden team. Biden and his team got really angry because 5 minutes was all about Andrew and how great Andrew is and what a great job Andrew's done with the pandemic, and how if you only had Andrew instead of Joe. Yes, 5 minutes of pro Andrew and about 3 minutes on the end of Joe Biden, why you needed to pick Joe Biden. So Andrew may have, 2024 is going to be an open run. We know that in 2024, nobody on the Republican side, we're pretty positive that nobody's going to be running against Joe Biden. You're going to be running against Kamala Harris or a Democrat that would primary Kamala Harris. You leave this guy alone, he doesn't fit. Maybe he thinks he should be the next president behind Biden. Right? Maybe he thinks he should be in the White House now. I don't know. But this is not adding up. This is not just totally about him killing grandma. This is not about him smooching. He thinks they're putting an end to him for a reason. He may not resign, but he will not get reelected in 2022. I don't think so, as governor in New York. And I think it ends his chance at 2024 for a presidential run. So there's definitely a lot of reasons why they're trying to get rid of Andrew. Take a break. We'll be right back. I want to talk about Joe Manchin and how dangerous he is. H.R. 1 taking over our elections, definitely federalizing our elections, making the steal possible for 2022 again. And what is Joe up to? Is he up to 2024? Is he up to something? Take a break.